If you've made a tax credit donation this year to support Christian education, thank you. If you have not made your donation and are not sure how much you can donate, check out the How Much Can I Donate section of our website at acsto.org under the Donor tab. This quick walkthrough will show you how to claim the credit on your Arizona taxes. Even though this guide is specifically for the Arizona Private School Tax Credit, the other tax credit opportunities go through a similar process. While we deal with these tax credits every day, we are not tax advisors, so this is not intended to replace official tax advice. If you have specific questions about your tax situation, please be sure to consult a tax professional. Before we get started, make sure you have your ACSTO donation receipt. You can find a copy of your receipt online through your donor portal account at acsto.org. If you do not have a donor portal account, a receipt was mailed to you. Our receipts will only show donations you intend to claim for the listed tax year, and it's divided by the original tax credit, the overflow tax credit, and other contributions. The original column is the individual private school tax credit. If you've donated enough to maximize what you're allowed to claim for the original, the extra amount overflows into the overflow column, also known as the switcher tax credit. If you donate more than the maximum for both of these tax credits, or if you're simply donating as a charitable gift, that falls into the third column called Other Contributions. If you're filing paper tax returns, you'll need a few additional short forms in order to claim your tax credits. You'll need Arizona Form 301, which is a summary of all Arizona credits, Arizona Form 323 for the original tax credit, and you may also need Arizona Form 348 if you donated to the overflow tax credit. These forms and the instructions are available on our website at acsto.org under the Donor tab in the Claim Your Credits section. If you utilize a tax preparation software, these forms should automatically generate as you complete the prompts. As the receipt indicates, you use Form 323 for the original tax credit. The form asks for the school tuition organization you donated to. If you donated to us, you'd say Arizona Christian School Tuition Organization, or ACSTO for short, and then P.O. Box 6580 in Chandler, Arizona. If you donated to more than one scholarship organization, there are additional lines. The form asks for your total contributions, so make sure to input the total from all three columns on your receipt. As you progress through the form, it will show you how much of this total will count for the original tax credit. Part 2 of the form is just in case you donated more than you could claim in a previous year, and you need to claim the extra as carryover this year. Most people will not need to worry about this part. Overflow donations are recorded separately on Form 348. The first part of the form checks to see if you're eligible to claim the overflow credit. It asks this because the overflow tax credit is only available for those who have donated the maximum amount to the original tax credit in the same tax year. If you've donated above and beyond the original tax credit for this tax year, or are claiming carryover overflow credit from a previous tax year, complete Part 1 and then move on to Part 2. Like Form 323, this form wants the total amount you donated to ACSTO. As you progress through the form, it will show you exactly how much of your donation will count for the overflow tax credit. And for those who need it, Part 3 is to account for any overflow carryover from previous years. Everyone who donated to ACSTO, or any tax credit, will also need to complete Form 301. For Part 1, put the total from your Form 323 on the line that says Form 323, and the total from your Form 348 on the line that says Form 348. Then complete the first section of Part 2 and put the totals from Forms 323 and 348 on their respective lines in the second section as well. On these forms, you'll see that our tax credits have long names. Just remember that the original tax credit uses Form 323 and the overflow uses 348. If you're using a tax software program, when prompted to answer these questions about contributions to the private school tax credit or school tuition organization, make sure to enter the total contributions from all three columns of your receipt. Most programs will complete all these forms automatically. Finally, we move on to the Arizona Form 140 for individuals. Sadly, you can't use the shorter forms, such as the 140EZ or the 140A, because they don't include options for any tax credits. In the Balance of Tax section of Arizona Form 140, enter the total from Form 301 on the line called Non-Refundable Credits from Arizona Form 301. If you look back up to the line titled Subtotal of Tax, that's where you've calculated what your state income tax payment will be. This is your liability, as long as the amounts on the two lines directly below it are zero. If you're claiming either the dependent tax credit or the family income tax credit, be sure to subtract those amounts from your subtotal of tax to determine your liability. The sum of all the tax credits you are claiming on Form 301 will be limited to your liability. When you donate more than your liability, but no more than the maximum allowed, you can carry over the credit to offset future taxes for up to 5 consecutive years. We encourage you to complete the Credit Carryover Worksheet on the last page of the Form 301 instructions and keep this information for next year's return. Continue to fill out Form 140 to find out whether you still have taxes due or if you ended up overpaying the state because of your tax credit donation. The state will give you a refund for the overage. And that's it. If you're filing your own taxes, this walkthrough should give you a head start. However, if you need advice for your specific situation, please speak with a tax advisor. Tax forms aside, think about the thousands of Arizona students who are receiving a life-changing education that they couldn't receive without you. Thank you for your donation and for partnering with us to make Christian education affordable for everyone.